Yeah, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zod. I know I haven't been on here. I've been doing other things, really trying to, get my channel back on track. Not so much this one, but another one that I was focusing on as far as like podcasting, and then also getting ready for, to possibly go into Thailand in September. Hopefully, I don't have to shift it, seeing that it's monsoon season out there, or approaching where it's monsoon season. There already been raining, a lot of floods, so and a lot of things are changing politically in that landscape, so we might have to opt for another Asian country such as like Cambodia, Vietnam, not so much Laos, because it's real quiet right there. I haven't seen nothing that has any type of real nightlife. They seem to be real reserved, so we want to go somewhere where it's going to be my first trip. My son's already been to a few different countries, UK, Ireland, and Sweden. So he's already ventured out and met the people that had started following him online a long time ago, and so he's been able to retain those friendships. But me personally, being who I've been and the places that I've always wanted to go, have never really had that chance, just due to the fact that I constantly stayed in and out of jail. And now that I'm not one that take part in the stupidity, and I won't say stupidity, but I just don't really I don't really go out there and do it like that, because it's just other things I need to focus on. Now, does that mean I'm impervious to the bull, or not willing to go out and do certain things if it really calls for it? Yeah, that's always going to be in me. But as a grown man, I don't really pay too much attention to things. I still slip, but I don't pay too much attention. But this whole thing is about the Trump thing. Sorry, let me check this value. I think it's a little bit too high, so it might just, be spiking. I haven't really been able to figure it out, seeing that this is not my laptop. This is the Zoom. But yeah. Like, I hear a lot of people and they're like, yeah, you know what? People elected Trump, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to tell you straight out, nobody really had control over that. The options on both sides were going to weigh heavily on people's souls anyway. And I noticed, I see it all on social media right now. It's waning on people. People, the ones that are not racist, are straight out just didn't like you to begin with, have some type of like I said, they feel bad because they didn't think that it would get to this level. But what they understand is like, and I'm just gonna tell you, regardless of which way it went, deportation was gonna happen. The only difference is this is out. This is out in the open. Not only because they've been wanting to do this, but just the simple fact of the president that you have in the office right now is a Caucasian, not Hispanic, he's not black, he's Caucasian, and he's straight away, but also played to the narrative, and that's, back in certain people that are willing to do things. Because if you remember, he downplayed the KKK, and he also showed that Biden was in league with them a long time ago with the Grand Wizard or Grand Dragon, whatever the hell he is. But they showed that he had ties, one of the last Dixiecrats. But and people kind of push that to the side because they're like, whatever, he's a Democrat, so he can't be that type of person, which is, I have called bull so many times, but people don't necessarily pay attention. So on one hand, you had Kamala Harris. Yeah, she doesn't claim that she's black. She says that she's some type of Asian. She's went out her way to persecute blacks for the smallest things, and there's people still sitting in jail to this day. There's things that have taken place on her watch, as far as like dirty cops refuse to, she refused to prosecute them. At the same time, dirty lab results that should have been, the chick that should have been prosecuted by her, since she was a deputy district DA, she refused. So that just all played into a lot of people's train of thought. But at the same time, blacks went out overwhelmingly and voted for Kamala Harris, not necessarily because she was a star candidate, but they did it because they knew what was going to happen if you elected Trump. And some people downplayed it and figured that it would never get to these levels of they didn't think that it would get to these levels. They thought that it was going to be more that he was just talking, but what they forgot is the first time when people said Trump wouldn't get into office and try to make it seem like he was a dummy and all this other stuff, he went out of his way to prove him wrong, and he got elected, and he did what he did. But now people are starting to see that it's in his hand but out of it at the same time, because at the end of the day he's let the dogs loose, and unless he just comes right out and just shuts everything down, it's pretty much out of his hand. A lot of the stuff that's taking place is being allowed. It's not being told to do, it's being allowed. Like, okay, Mazdi, I need this number, so these people are trying to conserve their job, so they're gonna go out of their way to do whatever they need to do. If you notice what they're doing is a lot of the foods that they're utilizing to pick up Hispanic people are the people that look exactly like them. They figure it'll be a lot easier to see, and then some are just outright snatching fools up and kidnapping. Now, the reason I brought this up is because I see a lot of people online that are talking the talk but not necessarily walking the walk. Like, I'll tell you of an incident that just took place, and it was 10 people got arrested for attempted murder or attempted unaliving of an ICE agent, and they allegedly ambushed him. Now, for the most part, people were clapping because even though ICE is only doing their job, some of them are loving it at the same time, and not just loving it, they're going out of their way to be as vulgar as possible. I've seen it, and I say that's why it's good sometimes if you have any type of facial recognition, as far as people know you and they see you and can be like, oh yeah, you that one food, like, and this is not to pump anything up, but there's a lot of places I go where people will see me and be like, oh, what's up, Zadi, the beef eater, man. It's like, it's just, whatever. And there's some people I know that don't like me, they just don't say nothing. They just stay to their edge, and I stay on my edge because it is the way it is. I'm not going on my way to appease anybody, but it's just things of that nature. So when you step into a protest and people don't recognize you, it makes it a lot easier for people to digest, because anybody that has any type of name and anything is automatically seen as clout chasing. Like, you had all the rappers and all these people that went out here, social media superstars, and people only assume that they were there not to bring light, but to garnish some type of attention, get more people on their team, which furthers their career. But I said in a prior video that people do that because a lot of times when you see a star there, it makes people want to go even more. It brings more attention, and you have places like TMZ covering out. Like, I went to this festival and performed. It was a hashathon. Feedman. I performed first. People were more focused on other things, but people did stop and say, what's up, and record whatever. But TMZ was there. But you see, it's like things like this that bring situations to the forefront. That's why there's a lot of stories that get swept up under the rug. The only reason there's 10 people being personally possibly being prosecuted, no, they're getting prosecuted, but the reason they're gonna push so hard on these dudes, it could be either way. They might not push as hard because they don't want anybody to do the copycat thing, which if things continue to go the way they are, there is going to be people that's going to want to go out there on the forefront and put their life on the line. But right now, that's what I want to talk about. One of the things I want to talk about. One thing, Trump exposing racism, yeah, he perpetuated it because it benefit him. Like, at the end of the day, and I tell this to other white people that might feel some type of nostalgia, because not all white people are backing him, but the ones that feel some sort of nostalgia, because he's allowing them to do what they feel they can, or that they wanted to do it for a long time ago, but never really had the nuts to do it because they were scared. Not only now it's like they know they got the law and they got the military out there, but without them, they've been scared. They've been in their little huts and not really tripping because they don't really want that. They don't really want that smoke. They don't want that issue because they know when it comes down to it, without the military and without cops, it'll be on and cracking. Especially coming to Los Angeles, snatching up what you consider immigrants. But I don't fault Trump because I know at the end of the day, all he did was expose it. People have lived right next door to you, have ate at your house, have acted as if they embrace your culture, and then turned their back on you on the drop of a dime. Like, I've seen it. There's people that I know personally that I've seen that at one time they couldn't keep Mexican children out their mouth, dog. But now it's like, now it's their chance to shine. So the same people that supported you at one time and just really with the Chicano cause or the Hispanic cause or whatever, now it's like, oh, well, it's in America's best interest to get rid of you. You're here illegal. But it's like, dude, these dudes are criminals as well as, you know what I mean? So just to hear them speak on it like that is crazy. But like I said, these are the same ones that were supposedly supporting you, but now they're turning their back on you because they figure that 9 out of 10, you're going to be one of the people that's gone, or you're going to possibly go crash out and do something that's going to get you going either way. So it's killing two birds with one stone. It's like the whites that have lived, that are extremely racist, that live in Los Angeles. This is a plus for them. They might not go out and say it right now, but it's a plus for them because they want to get rid of you. The same neighborhood that you have been in for years, and your kids' kids, they want that house because they figure they can do a lot better with it. They don't like the fact that you got it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And I know it might sound like I'm just going in circles, but these are talking points. All Trump did was expose. At the end of the day, Trump can only do so much. You see what's happening with Israel. One minute he's against it, next minute he's with it. But because at the end of the day, it's like he started off not being a puppet. He started off just doing what he felt. But they, at the same time, they did kind of have him, but they let him run reckless. And when he started to go against them, that's when they tried to reel him in. That whole thing the case that went against him, that didn't only have to do with the Democrats. That had to do with some of his party as well. They were trying to get him out the way because there's a lot of people that feel like they should have that level of power because they feel like they're career politicians, and Trump wasn't. He's a businessman. But when they realized they couldn't beat him, now they all jump on board. But they also allowing him to crash out because they know at the end of the day, that might benefit them in some way, but but to be honest, it's only gonna go against him in the end, because the next time a president is elected, I can almost guarantee that somebody come in squeaky clean, it's gonna be a Democrat. I don't think it'll be a Republican, just from what's taking place with Trump right now. People hate him because they have certain political views, and some just hate him because they have family members that are gone now, and might possibly, like the dude that I don't even know his name. I saw a clipping of him and it was so fast I haven't been able to pull it back up on Instagram, but he died in ICE custody at Alligator Alcatraz. He caught COVID and he was 26 or 27 years old, lost his life, dude. Like, I wish I knew his name because I would put it out there, because I felt like it's just going to go up under the radar. But he passed away. And there's been a few other people that have passed away. But the whole thing, like I said, I'll just say this about Trump. He exposed the underlying racism that's always been America. People have said that this boy there's no more racism, but this is a prime example of what exactly they refuse to admit. It's there and it's always going to be there because people refuse to teach their kids to get past it. It's a learned process and it continues. You got people that were in the closet as far as like with their rhetoric, but now they're outright saying what they feel like they need to say, on social media without no fear of retaliation. Like, and when they do fear it and you come at them sideways, the first thing is like, oh, you're so violent, you're threatening me. But it's just what they say that has people up in norms. And another thing that about I'll just say this real quick, the 10 people that allegedly tried to unalive an ICE agent that are in custody right now, I've seen people online say, oh, they failed. You had one mission. For one thing, the majority of them seem to be all Caucasian. So you're gonna tell me you got these somewhat group that's not even that somewhat is somewhat all Caucasians going out to push a cause that should be your own. Like, That's what I'm saying. Like, when you hear people on social media talk down on these people, it's so comical, because not only it's not comical, but it's sad, because these people got to go back to their cell knowing that they're quite possibly going to get life, and realize that they threw their life away for a cause that they didn't even have to take part in. They're white, so it's not going to affect them in no way, shape, or form. So when I see people, put it out there like that, it's just disrespectful, dude. And now I see why some people are not taking part in the bull. And that's another thing I want to talk about, as far as like the all African Americans or blacks, or whatever you consider yourself, and you're dark skinned, of melanin, your melaniness of this hue. For the ones that are online, that actually have something to say positive, I applaud you, because you're not doing the nitpicking. You're not doing the look at us. You're not doing that. You're actually saying positive things. And whether you're saying go out and protest with the Hispanics, or reserving your judgment, that's cool. But for the ones that be on social media just really pushing a narrative of you need us, and we don't have to do nothing for you, and you should learn from it. Why are you even on? Like, I get it, you need likes, but you're a hate monger. Just you're basically the black Nazis that I call you, because your whole thing is not to educate, it's to continue separation. And this is the thing I say about Los Angeles. People want to swear that Los Angeles is so divided. No, it's only divided for the people that refuse to get along. Not everybody is involved in prison politics. These fools use prison politics like it's the be all end all. Like, dude, that's prison politics. They ain't got nothing to do with the average black citizen and the average Hispanic citizen. Whether they get along or not, that's their choice. But it should be a choice that they make. Going on there and talking about your prison life and the hardships of whether fool should have fist fight or not use knives, it's prison. For anybody that crying about that, you kill your own on the street, and then you get on here and talk about it's unfair that a dude smaller than you just don't feel like he need to fight you. He just poke you up and get you out the way. That's how wars end. That's how wars end. You don't go in to softball nobody. You go in there to put a fool out his misery. If we're gonna war, we're gonna war right. That's just how it is. Nobody is gonna play with you. That's why all these channels that are pushing a different narrative tell kids don't go to jail, stay out of the mix. Why? Because nobody's playing with you. Nobody's gonna get on there and slap you on the ass or hit you on the head and hope you stop there. No, they're gonna try to remove you out the way, because that's one less individual they got to deal with. That is war. So when people try to take that and bring it to the streets, gangs are gangs. So gangs are going to do what they do. I do not feel sorry for no gangbanger that has got removed in prison, got removed on the street. I don't feel sorry for you. When people throw funerals and be like, oh yeah, it's sad though. Man, you were gangbanging. And if you weren't actively out there doing what you should have been doing as a gangbanger, then that's just you. You shouldn't have took part in the fuckery in the first place. It is what it is. That's why I don't feel sorry. I try to keep my son, I keep my son and all my seeds out that mix. College, work, like it because I don't need him to take part in that. I did that. There's no need to continue to push that narrative so they follow it. Nah, we don't need that. And that's why I tell you, for the ones that feel like it's unfair that your people got poked up in prison, it's war. And ain't nothing. But I see that people would rather like, oh well, I knocked you out and put peanut butter in your ass, than for this fool to be like, hey, well, this fool might have beat me, but since I had to steal and I poked him, I don't have to deal with that. Like, dudes try to downplay everything, try to make everything seem like it's so. There's no victims and nothing. The only way you're a victim is if you wasn't part of the get down, and you end up becoming, end up getting caught in the mix, which a lot of people do in the streets anyway. You may not be affiliated with anything, but just due to the fact that you hang out in a certain area, now you become a victim. You lose your life. There's a gang of fools in jail right now for shooting nobodies, stabbing nobodies, robbing nobodies, and they get hurt and lose their life. Drunk driving, hit somebody, kill them. The people in the other car had nothing to do with your stupidity and refusal to not take part in drinking while you're driving. It's simple math, logic. Don't go to jail. Don't take part in certain, and you will not have to deal with it. There's so many ways of doing things without having to go down that route. And this should be something that motivates people to stay out of jail. Just knowing that you can always have a chance. You want to go show your sparring skills, and fools are trying to survive and go home. Nobody is gonna play with you. They're gonna try to end your life, or you're gonna try to end theirs. It's a system, and that's what keeps the door revolving, and you're in and out. It is what it is. So I don't feel nothing for that. But yeah, if you're a hate monger, and this is on all sides, because you, not even all sides, it's between Hispanics and blacks, and now you got the natives involved. Like, that's another thing I don't get. Like, I watched a dude on TikTok talk about they're the first people, and that they gave birth to black Americans and basically every other race in the world. That is so slow, and just like I get it. Like, maybe these dudes that be saying that they're the real Indians, I don't know. I don't care. At the end of the day, at one time it was one continent. It wasn't no split. Before continents separating, it was all one. It was one large landmass. So that means anybody could have been anywhere at any time. If everything started in Africa, you don't think it spread it? Like, they've mapped the migration patterns, but people refuse to understand not only science, but these are people of your culture and of your ethnicity saying the migration pattern, how it went. But people try to refute it by some stupid nursery rhyme that they found in a book like 10 years ago that's not even older than 3 of my sons. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so hypocritical when I see this type of stuff online. But I see it. There's so much division right now, and it's crazy because you got a gang of whites fighting for the rights of all these different nationalities, but they're still being persecuted at the same time. Like, I still hear you would figure that people refrain from saying F all whites if there's whites that's actually standing on the front line with you. Or you would think blacks would refrain from saying F Hispanics if there's Hispanics standing on the front line with you, have been on the front line with you. It doesn't mean everybody has taken part, but there's been a lot of front line, hand-to-hand, dealing with other situations, and people don't want to, the hate mongers don't want to accept that. And then you got Hispanics, the same thing. Oh, we don't need blacks. Obviously you do, because there's a gang of you that's saying that you do. What does it hurt to accept the people that want to give you help compared to the people that don't want to give you help? The ones that don't want to give you help, they're not obligated to. Let them sit in their misery. Let them sit in their level of false superiority and all this. Because if that was the case, then we would be above the whites right now. But it ain't happening. But people have false sense of superiority, and that's in every race. But right now, accept the help that people are willing to give you, that show real solidarity with you, and the ones that don't, let them go on about their way, because at the end of the day, them are the ones that's going to turn on you and betray you anyway. You never turn your back on a snake. Because if anybody could come on social media and downplay what's going on right now and be like, that's not our problem and you should have did this, they're still holding resentment. Them are grudges that quite possibly bite you in the end. That's why I separate myself from a lot of people. People like to come on here and be like, oh yeah, you pandering to. I'm pandering to nobody. I actively put my life on the line for a community that was never really mine, but it's still mine because I'm still a part of it. May not be race-wise a part of it, even though we can go back on other things, but you know what I mean? Because I'm not Mexicano, but it's like I was willing to put my life on the line for it. A lot of you don't. Like you'll put your life on your line for your gang, and you'll kill people that look exactly like you, but you're not really doing nothing outside of that. That's why when people complain about that, it's like, dude, you'll kill your own, but you'll complain about somebody else killing. And these are not family members, so that's different. If another race killed one of your family members, I would expect you to be mad. Not at everybody, but I would expect you to be mad and look for some type of retribution. But you'll kill your own and then get mad when you go to jail and people are not in solidarity with you because you kill your own, and they kill their own as well. There's no loyalty in gangbanging as far as like certain things. It is what it is. When war is war, it's like you gonna pick whatever side you feel is yours, that you're comfortable with, the side that's gonna ride for you regardless of come what may. and that's why people choose the sides they choose. That's why you got all these Mexican Chris and Mexican Bloods. Like, it's people choose whatever side they feel comfortable with. It is what it is. Ain't nobody gonna stop it, no matter how much crime. But don't come on social media and try to get other people to follow your narrative because you're too chicken to handle your own business. Like, it's just what it is. Like, I don't care who don't like me because I'll still be moving around. But this is grown-ups having conversations. But yeah, Trump just exposed exactly how many races are still in America and giving these little weenies that be in the closet and in their basement typing the N-words a lot more, to feel like they're that, but they're not. They still hide, and ain't none of them gonna do. They'll press for the military and everything else to come do what they do, but they're not coming personally, because if they will, it'll be a lot different. Or they don't. This is what I say. Like, and this is not to push any, but come when there's no cops. I mean, there's always gonna be cops in Los Angeles, but come when there's no military, no National Guard. Come push that narrative that white superiority is the thing. Push that narrative. Like, that's what I say. Like, whether you go down south or up north, push that narrative. More so up north, they really get at you. Like, so just, at least you have a chance down here. Like, we probably pack you up a little bit, send you on your way, because you ain't worth the time unless you just go too far. But up there, you ain't gonna, you probably ain't never gonna be seen again. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, they don't have no liking for you at all. But yeah, just anyways, everybody enjoy your day. I'm your boy Zod, and I just want to make a video because I haven't been on for a while, and I want to talk about some things. Even though they were all over the place, you pretty much get what I'm saying. But anyways, man, fight the good fight, and hopefully I do see you guys on the front line again. With that being said, I'm your boy Zod, and I'm out.